terms of the list of nominees that I kind of sifted through, I had Orange, Seth, Cody, Roman, Mox, MJF. Like, I think there's a lot that you can sift through here in terms of male wrestler of the year.
Those are the names. There's some New Japan in there that you could throw in there as well, some Impact Wrestling. I just think that Seth Rollins, though, I tried to make it as simple as possible after going through a dozen names and crossing them off. I went to Seth Rollins because when, with Roman Reigns being out, guys, Seth Rollins has carried the company. I mean, he's the guy that's doing the house shows. He's the guy that's on television. He's the guy that had, I thought, terrific matches against Shinsuke Nakamura and others in 2023. And maybe that reign's coming to an end by the time we get to WrestleMania. But for a guy here that's not 100% and who is in wrestling, that guy has carried the mail for the WWE. The Bloodline is the great storyline, yes, but who's been doing the wrestling? We give Gunther all this credit for being like this workhorse Intercontinental Champion. That's true. But Seth Rollins, though, is making the towns and doing all the TV and doing everything else as one of the faces. So I put male wrestler of the year, Seth Rollins, for me.
So for me, I had like two separate sides. Like, we're talking about strictly in the ring wrestling, doing their thing. Like, it was Bryan Danielson for me. Yes, there was some time off, but every week, like, you don't know who he's going to face, but he's going to go out there and he's going to give you 5-6 stars. That's what he does. And now taking over a more leadership role also. The other side is maybe it's the media side of like, hey, who are we talking about week in and week out? It's Punk.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there was no bigger story in 2023 than CM Punk. The exit, the entrance, the suspension, the will he, the won't he. Like, he's that guy that we're talking about. He's the LeBron. He's the Rodgers. That's CM Punk.
Yeah, Punk's a great choice, and I didn't even think about it. But, I mean, Punk's one of the biggest draws still in professional wrestling today.
Yeah.
Like, Collision didn't start strictly because of him, but some of the thought process is, oh, he's a big enough draw that even during college football season, like, he's going to be able to pull a decent enough number in terms of the ratings. And, well, we never got to see that because he got fired before college football season really kicked off for Collision. But yeah, I mean, Punk has dominated the headlines, whether he's been in AEW and was clearly going to be a big part of their storylines going forward as their real world's champion, and he was going to have the X on the AEW belt and doing that whole thing. And the way he's shown up in WWE, it's the only thing everybody's talking about. But I lean in the same direction as Jay Hood. Like, as much as I wanted to give it to Orange Cassidy, because the dude shows up week in and week out. He's got the KT tape on. It just felt like for 2-3 months straight, he was defending that international championship on Dynamite. And he would start, we'd hear Jefferson Starship starting off Dynamite. Like, it's just the way it did. You would have Excalibur, hey, it's Wednesday. You know what that means. And then all right, here we go. Orange Cassidy is going to put on a banger. And, we have a conversation coming up with Matt Menard as he's trying to figure out kind of the next step for him. Whereas Orange Cassidy, for him to go from this comedic sideshow to legitimate professional wrestler who's helping carry a company, like, that's just, man, I may be talking myself into changing and going with Orange Cassidy.